Hi, Sally Walker here, your hormone and slow age expert, and welcome to Sunlight Week. Yes, this is the week where I will be telling you all about the sun and all about sunlight. Okay, so what I'm going to start with today is the sunlight spectrum. So this is all of the types of rays, if you like, which are being emitted from the sun. Okay, now it's also called solar radiation, and it's electromagnetic energy. Okay, and it provides light and heat to the earth and energy for something called photosynthesis. So photosynthesis is this very, very, very important function that plants do for us. And basically, if your plants don't do any photosynthesis, there would be no oxygen and they would not make glucose, so they wouldn't survive either, and there would be no life on this planet. So basically, without plant photosynthesis, people, we would not exist. Okay, so be very, very good and kind with your plants. Okay, so the sun will actually give the light, so the energy, the electromagnetic energy, which the plants need to make photosynthesis. And this light is what we call the visible light. We'll talk more about that in a minute, okay? Now, how much of the different types of rays which actually get to the earth from the sun is very much affected by the time of year, the time of day, if it's foggy, if it's smoggy, this kind of thing, the latitude, the altitude, all of these things are going to affect how many of these rays actually get to the earth, okay? Now, each of these bands, if we just divide it up into three basic bands or three wavelengths of sun rays, we've got the ultraviolet rays, and they account for about 8% of this solar spectrum. And then we've got the visible rays. Now the visible rays are the rays as such we can see because we can see the colours. It creates the colours. So we've got anything from a blue violety colour all the way through to the reds. So we go through the greens and the yellows and the oranges, and we end with the reds and the pinks and things like this. Okay, so this is what we call visible light, and this is 42.3%. And then we have the infrared rays. So we can't see these, just like we can't see the ultraviolets, we can't see the infrareds, but it doesn't mean to say they're not there. And the infrareds will make up about 49%, so that's quite a lot as well, isn't it? So all of these different types of rays affect the earth and the human body, and other life forms will be affected differently by these different rays. And that's what we're going to have a little look at. So that's what I've written about. So you can have a little look at how does the ultraviolet rays affect the body? How does visible light affect the body? Oh, does visible light affect the body? Well, I think we need to think logically about this, because we know the ultraviolets do. For example, they can create vitamin D. They can also create genetic mutations. Okay, that wasn't quite a nice one. And then we know the infrared rays at the other end will also affect the body. They can be used as pain killing as such, and anti-inflammation and increased healing, etc., etc. So they have some wonderful powers as well. So in between these two, you've got visible light. So if ultraviolet affects and infrared affects, then I think also we need to accept the fact that the visible light is going to affect the body as well. And it does. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the powers of the colours and in one of the other videos. So have a look for that one. So yes, so that basically your solar energy, your solar radiation, the electromagnetic energy coming from the sun is divided up into these three areas: ultraviolet, visible light, and infrared. Okay, so have a little look at the notes about the three areas, so you can be very wise about these things and know which ones we need to support and which ones we need to avoid as much as possible. Happy hormones, happy life.